Jennifer Kesse went to bed like any other night. By morning, she was gone. No signs of a struggle, no noise, no warning, just silence, and one of the most confusing disappearances in modern American history. How does someone vanish from their own apartment without leaving a trace? Jennifer Kesse was 24 years old. She lived in Orlando, Florida. She had a stable job as a financial analyst, a steady routine, and a close relationship with her family. By all accounts, her life was on track. She had recently returned from a vacation with her boyfriend, and everything seemed normal. On the night of January 23, 2006, Jennifer spoke with her boyfriend on the phone. That call is the last confirmed time anyone heard from her. There was nothing unusual about it. No signs of fear, no mention of danger. Just an ordinary conversation before going to bed. But the next morning, something was wrong. Jennifer didn't show up for work. That alone raised concern. She was known for being responsible and not the type to miss work without notice. Her phone went unanswered. No calls returned. As the hours passed, concern quickly turned into alarm. Her employer contacted her family, and almost immediately, they knew this wasn't normal. When investigators arrived at her apartment, they found something strange. There were no clear signs of forced entry, no broken doors, no damaged windows. Inside, things looked mostly undisturbed. Her belongings were still there. Her routine had simply stopped. It was as if she had disappeared overnight. Then, 2 days later, a major clue surfaced. Jennifer's car was found. It was parked at another apartment complex, about a mile away from her home. Now the case changed completely, because this meant one thing. Someone had moved her car, and that meant someone else was involved. Investigators searched the area, and that's when they found something critical. Surveillance cameras had captured footage of a person parking Jennifer's car. This should have been the breakthrough, the moment everything came together. But instead, it created one of the most frustrating mysteries in true crime history. As the person walked past the camera, their face was completely blocked by a fence post. Frame after frame, every single image lined up perfectly so that the person's identity could not be seen. Not one clear view, not one recognizable detail. To this day, that person has never been identified. Think about that for a moment. The one person who may know exactly what happened, captured on camera, and still unknown. Investigators explored multiple angles. They looked into people who lived nearby. They examined workers in the area. At the time, there was construction happening near Jennifer's apartment complex. This became one possible area of interest. However, there has never been confirmed evidence linking any specific individual to her disappearance. No arrests were made, no suspect was officially named, and the case began to slow down. But Jennifer's family never stopped. They continued pushing for answers, year after year. They spoke to the media, they worked with investigators, and they kept her story alive. In 2018, more than a decade after Jennifer disappeared, her family took an important step. They fought for access to the case files and were granted control of thousands of pages of investigative records. Their goal was simple: find something, anything, that might have been missed. Even today, they continue to search, because the biggest questions still remain unanswered. Who was the person in the surveillance video? What happened inside or near her apartment that night? And how could someone disappear from a place that should have been safe? Nearly 20 years later, there are still no clear answers, no confirmed suspects, no resolution. Just a timeline, a parked car, and a shadowy figure whose identity remains unknown. Jennifer Kesse's case is still open, still unsolved, and still one of the most puzzling disappearances in the United States. Because sometimes, the most haunting mysteries aren't the ones with too many clues, but the ones that leave almost nothing behind.